Hello everybody and welcome to another Battle Strike Team Giant Saver review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the Assault Saver. This is the second mech in the series and is made up of the Sky Eagle, the Jet Phoenix and the Thunder Lion. As with the other sets in the series, each mech comes with its combination scroll. It's basically the exact same scroll system as we got with the Giant Saver, it's just a different section on the top. And of course it does have the action feature when we plug the head in. So without further ado, let's take a look at those individual mechs. Starting off with the big guy, we have the Thunder Lion. It actually very much reminds me of Victory Leo or something from the Brave series, maybe something from Legend of the Garn, that sort of thing. It's fairly nice, it's quite a substantial block. Unfortunately, that's kind of what it looks like though, a block. It's quite a robust beef of a mech with a fairly inadequate lion's head on there. It's a little bit lackluster. Of all the three large combining mechs, unfortunately, I think that the Assault Saver mech is probably the weakest of the three. There's a lot of parts forming when we actually build Assault Saver, and I think the actual three main units involved are fairly weak. The Thunder Lion does look nice, it's just not very practical at all. You don't have much articulation in the form of the legs. They move forward slightly, you've got a ball joint on the feet which you can't really use because it's hindered by the underskirts there. The back legs do move in and out, and again you've got some movement on that toe there, but there's no real place to move it. The wings do move up and down and they do split and they're on a double hinge. The head doesn't move at all. You do have a mouth plate that moves down, but that just reveals the mask for the bot mode. It's a big chunk, but unfortunately it does form the head, body and legs of the large Assault Saver. So we're somewhat limited as to what we can do with it. Like with most of the series, the transformation sequence is pretty straightforward. But like I mentioned earlier on, there is a lot more parts forming with this guy. First of all, you want to just remove this head section. It's tabbed in on both sides. The tabs do seem to get fairly stuck on this. There doesn't seem to be any stress marks or anything on those tabs, so they appear to be okay. But for now, we just put the head section to one side. You want to remove this section here. I want to come round to the back, open up those legs, and we're going to bring those legs down like so, and then we can bring these heel spurs up and to the back. That just helps balance him. You can then collapse those legs and fold up the feet, collapse the leg, fold up the feet, come round to these shoulder sections and slide those up. They're on sliders each side. So again, with the side, slide that up. We can then come around to the waist and continue to move these leg sections forward. 1, 2, quite stiff ratchet joints there. Fold the feet down and down. You want to collapse the bird leg. That's about as far as it collapses. That's pretty pants, isn't it? Again, collapse the bird leg, keep that kind of straight. So it's about waist height. Move these shoulder wing sections down and down, and then you want to flip and rotate this whole section up and over. So do the same with this side, flip this yellow section up and over like so. It's at this point we can bring our combination scroll in. Make sure it's set to the on position. And there's a gripping tab just under here. We're going to slide that down into the body and line it up and just peg that in. Come back to the neck section and that's just going to place back over the top again, and that's going to tab in on all four corners like so. And we can bring the head section back in, and that's just going to tab on those tabs. It's going to slot in and they are going to slide in, and you see there's the line underneath the jaw there. That's going to slide into the tab on the grey neck piece. This is the hardest bit of this, lining everything up because it all wants to pop apart. There we go, and then we can slide the face down like so. That's all in. Next up, we take a look at the Jet Phoenix. It's quite a nice mech, but it's not without its faults. The wings on mine are a little bit loose. If we just... There we go, they do have a tendency to pop out. I'm not really sure why. I think I might just put a little bit of like a nail varnish or something on there just to kind of tighten that up a bit. It should grip in there, but it's just a little bit of shaking and it does come out. It's a fairly nice face sculpt on the Phoenix. Nice paint applications there on the eyes. Very, very nice. Lovely, bright, sun-bursting orange there. Nice grey wings. They do have the ability to spray, like so. Very nice. Tail fin's a little bit lackluster. I mean, I don't like the tail fin because it's not symmetrical. You can't plug that in there and get it to sit perfectly symmetrical because it's a separate section that just pulls off and joins on, but there's one side that blocks it and the other side doesn't, and it doesn't quite sit square on there. I'm not entirely sure what they were thinking, but I'm sure they had their reasons nonetheless. Like I mentioned earlier on, the wings do move slightly. They move with a little bit of movement there. I don't think they're designed to go all the way around in this mode. The head, there's a little bit of movement again. The neck does extend like so and retract. The legs do move forward on a nice ratchet there. And that's about all he does. Again, there is parts forming for his combination mode. Firstly, we need to take this tail section off. We're going to use this later on for the full combined mode. And then this little guy here is going to become an arm. We have this peg here, which pegs in to the side. These sections actually come off, and they are going to plug back in. But this time they're going to plug in using these side knives, like so. Plug those in, and then we can fully extend the head as well. We can bring in our torso, grab that connector here, and that's going to peg in directly onto the arm. Whoa, he's a little side heavy. Just come round to the back, make sure both the Phoenix feathers are folded inwards, and there's this clip just here. That's going to clip onto the back section of the combination scroll, and just pop that on like so. The third and final member, and in my opinion the best of the three, is the Sky Eagle. I actually really like this one. It's got a really nice face sculpt on there. Great use of the gold and silver paint. Nice little mouth there that can open up, and you kind of expect or whatever noise an eagle makes. You've got these rotating discs in the wings using that really nice translucent plastic. It's just got a very, very good vibe to it. I really like that design. It's just something almost Transformer-esque about it. It's a really, really nice eagle. Really nice. We do have some extension on the legs here. They can go up and they can go up, and obviously these can fold out slightly on a hinge here, but that's due, we use that later on in another transformation. The wings do move up and down on a really nice ratchet, and again, unfortunately, to get this guy combined, there is some parts forming. First port of call is just to unplug the tail fin. Again, these connectors are scary tight. As again, there's no stress on those at all, but they really do pinch in there. You need to remove both of the wings. These simply just tab in, so just unplug that like so. In essence, this is basically what we've got for the arm, but we're going to split open this bottom section here, like so. Split that open. We're going to bring out this joint here, and we're going to bring these sections back together. Make sure you put them together about here because there's 2 pegs there that need to tab in, and we can just pull this section forwards. The eagle can now tab in, so the eagle has landed, and coming round to the back, the tab just fits in on there like so, and you can bring in your wings, bend this connector in and come round to the back, and that's going to tab in to the back of the arms. Easier said than done. It's not the easiest thing to do on camera. Let's plug you in and twist. Come around on this side, plug you in and twist. And there we have him. And of course, let's push down on that head. Come on. There we have Assault Saver in his combined form. It's a little bit floppy. He's got a floppy front there, hasn't he? Like I said at the beginning of the review, this is probably the weakest of the 3. It's very, very parts form written. It almost feels like an afterthought. They thought of, alright, how can we combine all of these together? These 2 just look like birds hanging off his side. They don't really look like arms, in my opinion. I don't like the connector peg that comes across. You can't physically twist it as a ratchet like you could with the Assault Saver because it's such a long piece. It actually puts stress on the joint, and it doesn't actually twist. It just seems to actually twist the plastic and not the joint, which is not ideal. We don't want to be breaking those. The head sculpt is okay. I mean, that's not completely terrible at all, is it? There's lots of nice use of chrome. I actually like the colours on this guy. I like the semi-translucent plastic they used with the head there, and nothing feels like it's going to fall apart. Again, it's a fairly good plastic consistency. It's just those joints on those arms that slightly concern me. I do like the grey here, and I like these missile launchers, and I think the contrasting blues and yellows on those wings are really, really nice as well. I like how the light can just beam through those shoulders. Here he is with his brother-in-arms, Giant Saver. They do look good together. The whole series looks nice together when they're on display. Probably the best thing about the Assault Saver, though, is the fact it can combine with Giant Saver to form the Giant Assault Saver. Let's get to it. First thing you want to do is get everything off your main torso, so you're just left with the bare minimums of the Thunder Lion. Get Jet Phoenix. Remove his wings, like so. Push the tail combiner up, split open those legs, and they're going to go up to the side here, like so. And you want to lift up this section here, and to make sure the head is back. Bring in Sky Eagle again, make sure his wings are still unattached. Split open that bottom section, flip these sides up, and flip the feet backwards. That should go all the way up like so. Again, do the same with this side, flip that all the way up, flip those feet backwards like so, flip the heel spur underneath, and then flip up this section here. Flip down the underside of the lion's leg there. Just make sure that this section plugs in behind there. So you've got extended feet bases there. Push the feet up like so, and like so. Bring this section down and grab the base of the first hinge and pull that section up like so. You can then bring in the top section, this time having it with these flat sections forwards as opposed to the detailed sections, so the hole is actually going to be at the back. You can now bring that in and plug that in like so. Come round to the head, and you want to just separate the 2 parts. So this piece here unplugs, and with it in this position, you want to slide that back in. So that tabs in on there, that tabs in on there, and those are going to push together like so. So there's the new head sculpt, and that's the back of the lion's head. Next we bring in Giant Saver, and there's a few things we just need to do to tweak him. First of all, remove the shark from both sides. There we go. And you want to remove the monkey visor as well, because that's going to get in the way. You just need to remove that. You can also come round to the back and just remove the plug from the back there. To join the foot, that plate there just slides into the groove there, and then there's a tab at the front. That's going to tab directly in. Apply pressure there, and there it is. That goes in. It's slightly on the slant, which allows it to stand better. Do the same with this side. Line up the slat and just plug the toe in like so. You can now bring the two main torsos together. We've got this tab on here and the hole here, tab here and the hole here. That's going to slide into there, he says, and that's going to just move the shoulders up so everything's clear. Slide that in. There we go, we are in. This is where we can now add on all of our accessories. Let's get the shark, let's pop him on the arm here. One, come around to this side and put his tail over on here, like so. So there's always the tail that I have trouble connecting. Don't know if it's just because maybe the joint is a little bit thicker, I'm not sure. But I always have, there we go, that's on. I always have trouble kind of connecting that one. Can bring in our combination scroll, and that's going to plug into the top, like so. This back section here, with the tail fins, you're going to use these sliding sections here, and that's going to slide down between those grooves and tab in on the back. Grab your Phoenix sections, and they're going to plug into these side connectors, 1 and 2, and then we're going to get our large wings, and they are just going to tab in on the back here like so. Fold that around and do the same with this side. Then bring in the new helmet, and that's going to slide over and dock. And there we have the giant assault saver. Wow! It's no worse than some of the stuff that Bandai have come out with lately. It's a really nice bulk, I guess. I had to move these sections out on the top of the arms just so we could get some movement in these arms still, so you still got some up and down motion there, because obviously all of this does tend to get in the way a tad. Let's just take a look at that new face sculpt. So, you know, I really like that. I think that's a pretty nice face sculpt. The bot mode itself combined does look quite nice until you look at it side on. That's when things start to look just a little bit silly, very much like we got with the Samurai Ultra Zord, where he combined with the Bull and the Claw Zord. Yeah, it's a little bit wide, isn't it? I don't know. I do like kind of the use, like got the cogs and everything here. I would like that if maybe these sections could fold back a little bit and join on to these cogs as well, just to make it look a little bit more like one piece. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. This is a few years old now. And I think it still looks great. It's a complete mess. It really is a complete mess. But it's my complete mess. This, in my opinion, is pretty much the definition of the Chinese mechs. It just screams, ah, what on earth is that? And I like it. Here he is with the third and final mech in the series, Crack Saver. Yes, that's actually his name. And of course these do combine as well, but I'll cover that in the next video. And here he is with Samurai Megazord, just to give you guys an idea of how big he has got. So there we have it, guys. That is the Sky Eagle, the Jet Phoenix, the Thunder Lion, basically the Assault Saver combined with our Giant Saver to form the Giant Assault Saver. Thanks again to the guys over at Sir Toys for the hookup. Again, if you really like this toy, make sure you follow the link in the description below and add it to your want list. If you found the video useful, give it a big thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. And until next time, from myself and the Assault Saver team, thanks for watching, goodbye.